It's hard to believe that more than 20 years has passed since I developed an interest in the car hobby. A fascination with old cars led to my passion for 60s Lincoln and late 50s Chrysler products. It was back in 1987 when I took interest in this type of car. A friend of the family left his convertible at my father's shop where it sat for many years. I was intrigued by its center-opening doors, wide body, and compact greenhouse. As business picked up, space was limited, and it had to go. I asked about acquiring the wreck, and its owner was happy to pass it on. Naive as I was, I didn't understand the complex work required to bring it back. With some persuasion, a technician insisted that I find a better car and use that one for parts. The following year led to a nice 66 convertible. This car was in need of attention, but a great starting point. I performed restoration work to all aspects of this vehicle. Over the years, I've carefully logged over 34,000 miles. There are plenty of interesting features, including a 462 cubic inch engine, 6-way power bucket seats, power windows, power vents, power steering, automatic temperature control, power door locks, AM 8-track, self-storing top, automatic rear windows, and hydraulic wipers. After conducting some research, I found an array of Ford accessories. Some unique options include a rotunda compass, junior tissue dispenser, an engine light, and a TWR7 CB radio. This unit is one of 2 CB options available through Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury dealers. Upon further investigation, I discovered that Ford offered a car television. This unit has proven to be difficult to find. I recently acquired a 1966 Sony automobile television that plugs into the lighter. This set is identical to the set sold for the Lincoln Lehman Peterson line. I've included some non-stock items such as the installation of a Sony head unit, real veneer, later tail lamp bezels, and twin center consoles. 20 years ago, these cars were not as collectible as they are today. Over the years, they become popular, appearing in commercials, parades, and movies. It's nice to see a strong interest from people of all ages. The Continental of the 60s has many unique qualities. Many are attracted to the appearance. However, there are many factors that are more than skin deep. Starting with early development to the finished product, Ford's commitment was to put quality first. It all started in a small studio with a talented team of designers. There were many attempts to create a new car. The final result led to borrowing the Thunderbird concept for the use of the new Continental. After the concept was set, there were many details to follow. The focus was to beat the competition, and for a company's production was 1/3 of Cadillac, one could imagine the work to be done. Lincoln was a much smaller company. Its facility was no different. The studio was so small that the walls were covered with large mirrors to allow a 3-dimensional view of its clay models. With a lack of space and increased overtime, the team was dedicated to bring forth an award-winning design. There were many actions to ensure customer satisfaction. Every car went through a 180-point test. Each drivetrain was run for 3 hours to ensure trouble-free braking. In addition, all 430 and 462 cubic inch engines were inspected internally after braking tests. Electric motors were dipped into rubber insulation. Unitized bodies were assembled with great care. On a weekly basis, one unitized structure was disassembled to examine structural tolerances. Each structure was completely submerged in a special primer. During the assembly process, many areas were finished by hand. Upon final assembly, all models were subject to a leak test to assure a watertight cabin. There are many developments that influenced the overall design, leading to Lincoln's 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty. Warranty of this duration was the first among U.S. manufacturers. With lower production and resistance to standardize, Lincoln was able to build an effective automobile. The final result was a quality motor car that fit into a class of its own. Many of these characteristics paralleled those of the pre-war era. By 1967, the Open Continental was at its end, and so was the last 4-door convertible produced by a U.S. manufacturer. Thanks for stopping by.